here. I just want to let you know that the Pulsechain.com mainnet has launched, and PulseX.com on that mainnet has launched as well. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. We waited a couple years for this, and it's finally here.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another great day in bullish market territory, and hope you guys are going to enjoy the show. Ooh, I've just dropped my drink. How about that? That's just the way it goes. Fortunately, I have to clean it up. There we go. So there we are. Dramatic start to the day, and there it goes. Good thing I had a cloth on me, otherwise that was going to be too funny. All right, you guys can't see it, but it is hilarious. Imagine you had got a drink on your desk and you just it goes everywhere. That's what just happened there. Right, let's see who else is in the house. A drama to start the show. No drama channel, but that's the way it goes. I think you're gonna have to repair things later on when they come back. That's hilarious. Super spill, yeah, super spill. All right, what else? We got people in the house here. We got Rod Fitzpatrick. Good morning, guy. Does that sound like some random guy? Good morning, guy. Good to see you, Rod Fitzpatrick. Welcome to the chat. Hello, how are you today? Very good. Life's beneath in the house. Woo! We got the Ultimate Strategy Hex, EHEX, PLSX, and the Center for the Win, 100%. And that is how we rock and roll today. You'll notice that I have a different background today. You can see it's looking kind of cool. We got Sandy Beach in the house. Welcome, Sandy. Good to see you also. We got Brian, our community leader, most awesome dude in the planet. So good to see Brian. And of course, if you want to use his Coast link to on-ramp fiat directly to Pulsechain to CST token, then definitely do that. Use Brian's link in the video description. Joey Torres, what's up all? Good to see you, Joey. Welcome to the chat. A big shout out from Sandy Beach to everybody. Wookie in the house as well. You know you are a cool kid to be here. Indeed, Wookie, you are. Hex Enthusiast says, yo, most consistent streamer around. That's right. And not just that, but actually covering everything on Pulsechain, which is kind of cool as well. We got Charity in the house there. Hey. Good to see you, Charity. Welcome to the chat. And, of course, Brendan as well. Morning, folks. The only channel where you're going to get all the intel on all the projects as they launch and get the front run. How about that? Is that pretty good? I think so. What's up, family? Let's go. Ramon's in the house. Hexforce 1 has landed. Hello, Superman and Hexkins. Good to see Hexforce 1. Welcome to chat. Hexcavator as well. Hey, gang. Good to see Hexcavator. We've got a good crowd in today. Looking really good. And so it should be. I mean, the markets are looking really, really good. Pulsechain, Bitcoin, we're going to talk about it all. Good to see Charity as well. We got Maxi KB in house. Good to see Maxi. And we got Creepy Coin as well. With the creepy name is Hello. Good to see Creepy Coin. Welcome to the chat. And let me check on both channels. You've got Maxi Cab on Superman Crypto. Got a few on Superman Crypto. Good to see you. Pulsechain YouTube. Of course, we're streaming on 3 channels. So Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain YouTube. Over 10,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe to any of those ones. And if you want to join our Discord, the link is in the video description. So subscribe, hit the Discord link in the video description, and join up today. Get the best information, good intel on projects, and of course the ultimate community as well. Great place to be. Definitely join up there. What else there? Let's jump over. We got Brendan in the house there. Lucky it wasn't a hot coffee. Yeah, it was a cool drink actually. I was lucky on that one. I can't believe it. It had one of those, those metal straws, and I just accidentally knocked the metal straw, and the whole cup fell over. It was a small little cup, so it wasn't like it was a big cup. So easily done. Yeah. If you want to on-ramp fiat to stablecoin there and get 5,000 weight token bonus, use Brian's link. There it is, right there. Nice one, Brian. And it's also in the video description if you need that after the live stream. Bob Wells in house there. Hello, everybody. Good to see Bob. We got JB in house as well. Good to see JB. Welcome to this time. I've seen you in the chat. There's a couple of new people in the chat. Nice to see you all. Who else there? Let's jump there. Archie's in the house there. Good to see Archie. Welcome. Who else is in here? I think that's it. I think we're up to date, which is pretty good. We've got a big show, so we're going to get straight into it. That's 5 minutes for the intro, I think. Let's go. And let's pull back here. I'm going to move me to the left. Bam, there I go. And, of course, hex.com. Check it out. But let's get to the news. We had some very bullish news today, so let's get into all that. So we're going to start with the stock market and see where that's gone. So the Dow Jones ends lower on the drag from Google, Boeing, and the yields, the treasury yields have risen. So again, so let's have a look at the results. So yesterday we had a green day in the stock market, remember? And of course, this is the results for Wednesday in the United States. So the Dow Jones, the top 30 industrials, are down 0.3%, 105 points to 33,000. The S&P 500 is down 1.43%, 60 points to 4,186. Now we fund manager Tom Lee is expecting us to head towards 4,800 towards the end of the year. So that is well shy from that at the moment. And the Nasdaq there, 2.4% down, 318 points to 12,821. And of course, Google, Boeing, they're dragging on the stock market. So we're going to see how the tech companies go in the future. The US dollar is strengthening though, 0.3%, up to 106.385 versus a trading partner. Let's go to the commodities quickly. We've got West Texas there at $85 and Brent oil there pretty much even from the looks of it at $90. So there's the prices there. Gold is at $1,992 and silver there at $23. And so that's kind of where the markets are there. Now, the only thing we want to highlight out of this is that the treasury yields have resumed their climb ahead of Q3 GDP data. So that's economic growth. Treasury yields resumed their climb after taking a breather in recent session ahead of economic data due out Thursday. So this is Wednesday's data, of course. So they will be able to cover that tomorrow, or actually Friday, and my time, and due Thursday. So yeah, that's tomorrow, and that will likely show the jump in economic growth into Q3. So they're quite bullish about how the economy is going to have GDP there. It's going to be a good result they're expecting. Ongoing strength of the economy, which threatens to fuel inflation, has been highlighted as key concern for the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. That could force the Fed to lift rates again. So still got that sort of sitting out there in the ether, but at the moment we're expecting a no change. A Fed pause on hikes on November the 1st is nearly priced in. However, at 93% according to investing.com Fed rate monitor there. So we're going to have a quick look at that monitor in real time and see where that is at the moment. So we've got 6 days and 18 hours to go. So basically a week to go until the next Fed meeting on November the 1st at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we can see that actually there's been a little bit of shift there. So we've got 95.6% expecting a no change. And we actually have 4.4% expecting a decrease in the interest rate. How about that? So that's a little bit different. So no one's expecting it to go up. If anything, we've got a small amount of people expecting it to go down 25 basis points. That'd be quite something to the market. That would shock the market. But I'm pretty much agree with this. No change expected. Now, December is the last meeting of the year, and we have 28.7% expecting a increase in the interest rates, the federal funds rate from 5%, which we currently have, to 5.75. So we'll keep a lookout for that. That is pretty much it. So 1 week to go, and we're expecting that to be a non-event for the market, really. And the outlook, the forward-looking statement, probably be more important for December. So let's see how we go. But maybe we'll get no change for both meetings for the end of the year. That'd be good for crypto. All right, let's jump over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin still looking very, very nice. So 34,507 with sort of 35,100 being the cap so far that we've reached a couple of times. We're at 1.8% at the moment. Bitcoin dominance 52.57%. Ethereum at 1785 is pretty much flat today, but we do have some standout performers. We've got Solana up 7.75% at $32.40. We've got SHIB is up 5.8% at the moment at 508. And then we've also got Link is doing pretty well, also up 6% at $10.96. So those looking they're kind of their standouts at the moment. Let's bring up the bubbles because the bubbles might be cool too today. Let's have a look and see what they look like. I hadn't actually brought those up. But look at that. Whee! Look at that. Yeah. We've got Hex right in the middle there. That's on the monthly. There's on the monthly. Look at that. The biggest bubble on bubbles is Hex. And Pulse is not too far behind it. Look at that. That's on the monthly filter there. So that's pretty awesome. And we got a little video about that, which I think is pretty funny. I think I've got that here. I actually didn't load it up, but it is pretty funny. So let's see if I can find it. Here we go. I hope you guys enjoy this. There are big influencers, right? So there's these top 20 influencers in crypto. We're thinking about Da Vinci 15 and a few others there. So check it out. I forgot the other guy's name, but let's have a look.
outperforming Bitcoin. You're with your Pepe coin, yes, you're a little bit up, but for the month. But wow, a lot of red priced in Bitcoin. So overall, you should have been only in Bitcoin. Yes, if you were in all the other alts, you did see a rise in the your dollar value of your portfolio, but not as much as Bitcoin. So that's the key thing. So the biggest winner, of course, was Hex, and we want to know, well, what the heck?
What the heck?
What the heck?
So that's a pretty funny video. Sorry, it's a very small video because it's clipped off X there, but that was hilarious. So Da Vinci 15 there is in the middle, and I just forgotten the name of the guy on the right. I had it before my head, but just skipped me there. And he's actually interviewed with Richard some time ago, and yeah, they're big influences in the Bitcoin space. And yeah, look, they tried to make out that Bitcoin was the biggest thing, but then Hex is sitting there with that big bubble. And you can see that there right in the middle there, the big bubble, which is pretty epic. So that's hilarious, dude. And free advertising for Hex. So very bullish. Look at all the red there. And that was on a monthly time frame there as well. And of course, you can see that live now. Everything's gone green now. And Hex, of course, is looking spectacular. So really, really cool results on that one. And I thought that was a hilarious video. And the big influencers covering that. Can't ignore Hex. All right. Looks so good. So really, really nice stuff happening there. So BTC looking very strong. Now, there has been a little bit of apparently miners, Bitcoin miners selling a little bit into this move, sort of capping it there at 35, giving some resistance. And so we're going to talk about that. Let's move on as well to Bitcoin chart. So as you guys know, we've been following this chart pretty intensely. And it's absolutely phenomenal, right? The window of opportunity has been glorious, as you guys know. Really has been fantastic. So continues on the window of opportunity. And we've got good news at the moment. You can see Bitcoin here, this Coinbase. We've been pretty much stuck at this 35,100 after having a big mighty pump. And still looking very good as the chart with higher lows and still doing pretty well there. Now, obviously, we've got to do a bit of work to get over 35,100. And let's watch the market because I still feel pretty good about this at the stage. Now, the good news that we had today is that we have finally, remember Kevin McCarthy got pushed out of the speaker's role in the United States, and we were leadership there in the Congress. And of course, now we have a new speaker. Mike Johnson is now Speaker of the House, and he's a conservative constitutionalist, so he's awesome. You know, I like Jim Jordan. He was a good pick. Mike Johnson is also a fantastic pick. So good news, and good news for America. So really excited to see where he's going to head with this. He's already given out a couple of his directions of what he's going to be doing around the southern border, around drugs, around Israel, and other things like that. So he's really stepping strongly in the right direction. So really looking forward to that. And we've got a little video of Mike Johnson getting voted in. So let's play that quickly. So this was a lead up. This is just before the vote for the Speaker of the House, and they'd already had this sort of private discussion, and they all had pretty much voted him in, and they just needed to go to the floor of the Congress House to vote him in. But this is the before the vote session where he had basically gained the support that he needed of 215 votes. So let's play that.
All the press for waiting. It's been quite a process. Democracy is messy sometimes, but it is our system. This conference that you see, this House Republican majority, is united. I'm honored to have the support of my colleagues, and what they understand about this is servant leadership. We're going to serve the people of this country. We're going to restore their faith in this Congress, this institution of government. America is the last best hope of man on the earth. Abraham Lincoln said it. Ronald Reagan used to remind us all the time, and we're here to remind you of that again. We're going to restore your trust in what we do here. You're going to see a new form of government, and we are going to move this quickly. This group here is ready to govern, and we're going to govern well. We're going to do what's right by the people. And I believe that people are going to reward that next year. But we have a lot of big priorities ahead of us right now. The world is on fire. We stand with our ally, Israel. We have a very busy agenda. We have appropriations bills to get through the process, but you are going to see this group working like a well-oiled machine. We owe that to the American people. The people up here have been sent here by the people of this country to do this job, and we are going to do it well. We commit that to you. Thank you for allowing us to go through the process and get to this. It was worth it, and we are going to serve you well.
All right, so that was a little clip of the before the vote, and he'd gained the votes there. So really good candidate for the leader of the House. This is going to put America right back on the front foot. It's going to be really cool. Now, here is the actual vote in the House, so we'll check that out too.
Across the aisle, though it is going to be a pretty ambitious job. We're going to listen in real quickly as we approach close to 2:15.
Jeffries. Williams of Georgia.
Fulton County, Georgia, votes for Hakeem Jeffries.
Jeffries. Williams of New York.
The son of a firefighter, Mike
Johnson. Williams of Texas.
Mike Johnson.
Johnson. Wilson of Florida. Wilson of Florida. Jeffries. Wilson of South Carolina. Johnson. Whitman. Johnson. Womack.
With the 217th pick in the race for Speaker, 3rd District of Arkansas, selects Mike Johnson.
Johnson. Yackham. Johnson. Zinke.
The next Speaker of the People's House, Mike Johnson.
Johnson.
So really good news there. And of course, the Democrats put up this nightmare Jeffries, but of course he couldn't win. And in came the right leader there. So that's really cool. Right, let's move on. That is the good news. And so we now have leadership in there and strong leadership. So that's kind of cool. We cleared out the riffraff that was working for the uni state. And so that's looking good forward. Now, a lot of work to be done, of course. A budget stopgap measure goes right through to the 16th of November. So that has to be dealt with in due course. So a lot of work to be done in that side of things. And that will be, I still think even if it wasn't, it's going to get pushed out. It's going to need to be dealt with. And of course, I think the market will treat that kind of trivially as well. So not a big impact, but that's the way we go. So we're looking good on the Fed. No change in interest rates. We've now got a leader of the Congress, and of course, the budget there is probably the next minor hurdle, I would say, coming up in terms of the market. So looking pretty good in the move ahead. And of course, we've got lots of news around Bitcoin and the ETFs. That's what's driving this excitement. And of course, we've played a lot of that stuff before. I'm going to play one short video again of BlackRock, just to give, for those that have missed it, the real emphasis of what's going on here, why Bitcoin is moving so strongly. So let's hear from the head of BlackRock there.
Clients around the world about the need for crypto. I mean, when you think about, I think some of this rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the, all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a flight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality.
So this video is unbelievable in terms of the bullishness for crypto, and of course a flight to quality. This is a game changer, and this is the biggest floodgate of capital into crypto that's going to be potentially unleashed with the Bitcoin ETFs, the spot ETFs that will be approved. And of course, it's not done yet, but of course, we saw the Galaxy founder very bullish about this. So really, really exciting. So let's get into what this would mean for crypto. So we've got this big move up towards 35. And of course, let's get into some of the cool stuff around there. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF in August got on the DTCC. So this happened yesterday, but it's actually been around before. It's more of an administrative issue. So that kind of caused a bit of stir yesterday. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF in August got on DTCC site that just belatedly moved markets. The price of Bitcoin surged on Monday after BlackRock proposed ETF showed up on the DTCC website and dropped when it vanished. So it was up and then it got pulled back down. And of course, impulsive trading in crypto markets is nothing new, and the movement of price of Bitcoin over the past 2 days over the addition and then removal of BlackRock's proposed ticker. Let me just get rid of that video there. Proposed ticker for spot Bitcoin ETF on the Depository Trust and Clearing Corp's website is just an example. As it turns out, the ETF has been on the website since August. A spokesperson for the TCC confirmed in an email to CoinDesk. And of course, Phil back here responded, "My brother's in Bitcoin. I spent 6 years managing new ETF launches for the New York Stock Exchange in 2010 to 2016, and about 15 years in the ETF product development and management. The DTCC thing means absolutely nothing. Nothing. Get offline and spend time with your loved ones," he says. Crypto traders this week interpreted the inclusion on the page as a sign BlackRock's product might get approval soon, but an ETF appearing there does not indicate anything about its regulatory approval. DTCC said being there is just part of the prep work, getting a ticker symbol and unique ID code known as a CUSIP, and any ETF would undertake pending US SEC approval, of course, which is what we're waiting for. It's standard practice for the DTCC to add securities to the NSCC security eligibility file in preparation for the launch of a new ETF to the market. And of course, Bitcoin basically also helped spur up Bitcoin there too. But we are expecting at the earliest a ETF approval. And of course, Galaxy, Michael Novogratz talked about that. So they're pretty bullish for this year rather than next year. So it continues the run up of a crypto. It's looking good. So BTC has got a bright future ahead of it, looking very good. A quality asset from BlackRock and a BTC ETF. High chance of approval this year from the looks of it, looking really good. So that leads us into what is the price prediction for Bitcoin that will make you rich. Well, here is the price prediction from CoinMarketCap, and this is a summary of some of the analysts. And of course, we've been following Fundstrat. You can see number 2 there. That's Tom Lee. Many of you may know Tom Lee, and of course, he's talking about potentially $150,000 of Bitcoin price. So Bitcoin price prediction following the potential approval of the ETF. And this is a bigger deal, a way bigger deal than even the Bitcoin halving coming up in April the 17th. So really is a big deal there. Now we've got Skybridge Capital. It's got a price of a target of 150 to 250. And we've also got Morgan Creek Capital at 150. Now, I have seen some people out there in the influencer space talking about maybe getting to 80, 90K. I think that's very unlikely. What we've got now is the biggest floodgates of capital potentially opening. So if those capital flows do flow, they will be, from this TradeFi. This is the biggest capital markets to being able to enter into crypto. Then these big numbers are in the game, right? They're in the game. So I'd be very cautious listening to, prices 69 to 80K. If there's funds flows from these big capital things, we could easily see big prices like 150 and maybe even higher, up to 250 is definitely possible. But these are the more modest ones here. We also got more modest expectations in here as well. We've got the standard charter here, 50K to 120. We've got Crypto Quant, 50K to 73. And we've got Matrix Port at 42 to 56. So these are some of the big numbers. And of course, if Bitcoin is getting this sort of price target, then what's going to happen to altcoins, especially quality altcoins, especially layer one chains, especially top dexes out there, and anything else sort of related to that, it's going to be super great. So the flow-ons effects to Ethereum, to Pulsechain are huge. Yeah, really excited to see where this will go with this. So very, very cool predictions here. and I think quite reasonable, given the fact that this is really the last big gate to institutional investment. So really, really looking bullish for Bitcoin. So, you know, we're at the moment 35,000, and you're looking all the way back up here. It's even off the chart. You're looking at these estimates are up here, all the way up here. So it's pretty impressive on that one. Yeah, so huge stuff there on the old chart. So looking really amazing, folks. Getting exciting. Really, really cool. All right, so that's kind of cool. We did have some research around this too from Kyle Chassie. I just read the Galaxy researchers, of course, and of course that's there from Mike Novogratz, sizing the market for a Bitcoin ETF, so you don't have to. Here are 5 key considerations to seriously note about the Bitcoin ETF. Market expansion. The approval of the US regulatory spot Bitcoin ETF is projected to induce a significant influx of investment, with estimated 14 billion in inflows into a Bitcoin ETF in the first year following an ETF launch, ramping up to 27 billion by the second year and 39 billion by the third year post-launch. And of course, increased accessibility. The Bitcoin ETF is slated to enhance the accessibility of Bitcoin investments, tapping into a $48 trillion managers there, like BlackRock, managed by US broker deals, banks, and IRAs. And these guys have big sales desks, right? They ring people up and get capital coming through. This move is expected to increase access for a larger population of investors, including retail and affluent individuals. So really big there. Regulatory compliance. A spot Bitcoin ETF is anticipated to meet more robust compliance requirements set by regulators around cryptocurrency. Custody setups, surveillance, and bankruptcy protections, which can help in alleviating investors' safety and compliance concerns, thereby fostering a conducive environment for investments into the crypto sector. Potential price impact. The approval of Bitcoin ETF could potentially catalyze a significant price appreciation of Bitcoin, drawing a parallel to the gold market, and analysts estimate plus 6.2% price impact for BTC in the first month alone, which could accumulate to a 74% increase in Bitcoin in the first year of the ETF approval. So huge potential price increase. It really is the last big leg there. Amazing. Global ripple effect. The article suggests that the approval of a Bitcoin ETF in the US could set a precedent for other global markets, thereby expanding the global accessibility and acceptance of Bitcoin. Over time, this ripple effect could potentially channel an estimated potential new incremental inflows into Bitcoin investment products ranging from 125 billion to 450 billion over an extended period. So really super bullish there. And that's some of the capital amount under management, right? Broker deals, banks, and IRAs. You're talking about $48 trillion assets under management. Amazing. And of course, BlackRock and others and doing this. So this is from Galaxy Digital Research, which is incredible. So it really is a big deal. And, you know, the Galaxy CEO, Mike Novogratz, has been very bullish about potentially getting an ETF approved this year. So get excited about that. And this is Michael Novogratz talking about that as well.
Start with this report. Let's start with all of the excitement / hype / I don't know what about the fact that not just BlackRock, but Fidelity and so many others have attempted, at least, or have applications in to try to get a Bitcoin ETF going. And the question is whether just because they're asking, is it going to be approved?
Yeah, it's going to get approved. We actually think, you know, we're partnered with Invesco on an application. We think it happens this year in 2023. All the indications of dealing seem to be heading in the right direction, and that's, you know, from
what's Mike though, because I don't want people to. Mike, people are going to say he's talking his book. He owns a lot of Bitcoin. He wants this to happen, obviously. What would you pinpoint and specifically suggest that you're seeing around the approval process that is somehow different today than it was a year ago, than it was 2 or 3 years ago?
The most significant piece was the SEC lost in court, right? The judge had said, "What are you talking about, SEC? You have a futures ETF and you're saying you can't have a cash ETF. That makes intellectually 0 sense." And I think that put the SEC on the back foot. And I think Gensler needs a win. There's a tremendous amount of pressure to do something that is rational. The American public wants this. BlackRock, who's the largest asset manager in the world, is out publicly saying we're going to get this done. And it's, you know, I can't talk specific about conversations our guys are having, and, you know, that's on the Invesco side. But talking to all the other people, it just feels like the dialogue with the SEC is all heading in the right direction.
But when you say the dialogue with the SEC, have you seen a shift, a fundamental shift in the way the SEC, anecdotally, I imagine, would have to be the only way you'd know this, has changed the approach to thinking about this in light of that lawsuit? Which is to say, Lena Khan has lost lawsuits before, in her agency at the FTC. That hasn't shifted the way she thinks about antitrust regulation in the United States.
Yeah, just the public filings back and forth and the comments you're reading online. The people's comments are much more constructive, and when you go to the comment period, what they're asking about all seems much more specific than general, and that seems to be a good sign. We'll see. I don't have a crystal ball. This is my intuition.
Right. By the way, do you have any thought on what happened during this week and how that report came about? I know that organization is planning to investigate how the report was written, but there's some people that are anxious or worried that there's manipulation at play.
The last day for the SEC to file an appeal on that suit came and went, and so there was some expectation or excitement. And Cointelegraph, I believe, put out an errant report. We were sitting on our desk thinking, I don't think Cointelegraph is going to be the person who breaks, this story. I think the SEC probably has other sources if they want to break a story. And so I was a little skeptical myself. What it does tell you is the market will head higher on any positive news, right? You're going to have Invesco's Salesforce, BlackRock Salesforce, Cathie Wood's Salesforce, Fidelity Salesforce, all out selling Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has always been an instrument that is sold, not bought, right? It's getting people in the first time, explaining to them what it is. I think by far the most bullish thing that happened was Larry Fink on TV saying, don't worry about that rumor where Bitcoin's going up because people see it as a store of value and as a flight to quality asset. That's the largest asset manager in the world. And it's no longer talking about how it works or why it's important. It's just a recognized macro asset. And that's a huge psychological shift.
So it's really looking great. I mean, obviously, the big money's coming. The price targets are looking big. And, of course, people that are early in crypto that have got their bags accumulating can do really well. And, of course, that includes Pulsechain. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we've already seen something like $20 million in the last week coming to Pulsechain back over the bridge. So looking really, really good. We've got BNB bridges. We've got Lightning Network bridges to Pulsechain. We've got the official bridge, and really is starting to look good. We've got these fiat on-ramp, off-ramp with Coast, and it's looking so good. So right time for everything. Everything is lining up pretty nicely, as you can see. So good stuff. Now, we do have one thing that's not Bitcoin, and that is Polygon. Polygon has deployed its new Pol token contracts on Ethereum. Apparently, the price has already matched a parity with Matic. Basically, as part of Polygon's updated roadmap, a new Pol token will replace the Matic token as a ecosystem's primary coordination tool. And we can see that as the multi-chain scaling solution continues to roll out, its updated roadmap, Polygon today finally deployed the token contract for its new Pol token on Ethereum. Now, this is going to replace Matic, of course. You guys know is the coin for that. The token contract is the type of smart contract that records the utilities and pairing a token, like its supply and who holds with balance. So just a little bit over there. Pol will replace the network's Matic token. The network will not support two tokens. Matic holders will have 4 years. So remember that, 4 years if you're holding Matic. It will be 4 years to migrate their holdings to the new token. The Pol token was first announced back in July and is expected to play a critical role in the network's wider upgrade. Originally launched as a proof of stake network Ethereum scale Ethereum, so forth. So that's pretty much what's happened today. Now they're going to be scaling their solutions for Polygon, but of course that token is now pretty much been matched with Matic price as trading as also. So kind of cool there. I thought that was worthy to be noted on Polygon. So that moves us on into Pulsechain, I guess. So everything looking fantastic. The stars are aligned for Pulsechain. Things are really looking good, and we're just getting started, really, aren't we? So let's get into the Pulsechain, getting Pulsechain results for day 166. Before we do that, though, let's catch up on the chat and say hello to a few people. that have jumped in already. What do we get up to here? We've got a few little comments. We've got up to Archie, that's for sure. Definitely smash the likes, says Sandy Beach, 100%. Who else is there? I like that background. Nice, yeah. It looks cool, doesn't it? Very cool indeed. What else we got going there? We got Max Kobe's about Da Vinci 15. What the hex? Yeah, absolutely, looking good. I loved how the bubble was standing out. That was really good. Let me just jump through some of that. Valiant talking about the Speaker of the House. My second choice. Not too bad. Yeah, I think very good outcome indeed. What else there? Valiant says watching the whale buy $100,000 of eHex live today was awesome. You talk about on Matty Allen's channel. Now I do understand that he sold it a couple of hours later, is what I understand is the case. But you know, it's fun to watch. Apparently the BankX guy's been selling some hex down too. Apparently on the Ethereum side, I believe. Harry Williams in the house here. Yo. Good to see Harry. Welcome to the chat. Bob's got to run. Good to see you in the house, Bob. What else we got? I think that's it on that one. So kind of cool. All right. I did post the link to that analysis there about from Galaxy. If you want to follow that up, that is the link on X social platform. All right. Let's get into the Pulsechain update. We're going to get into all the projects now. Sort of the second half of the show, really. Bam. Let's go. And there we are. All right, so we got day 166 on Pulsechain. We're at quadruple 068 on Pulse coin, and that is up 0.5% today. We're at 68% of the sacrifice, so we're etching out, we're earning ourselves all the way back there, back to sacrifice price, which is kind of cool. We got Pulsex at the moment at quadruple 0197, so still well discounted from the mean price, but heading back up almost at 20, pretty much 20%. We've been there like the last 2 days, I think 3 days. And we're up 64/100th of a percent. Not too bad. What else there we're going to say about 1px? We'll get you 3.48 eHex at the moment. So the Pulse still relatively strong, but definitely weakened off that 4-to-1 ratio. And of course, the talk of the town, as we always say, is the Pulsex buy and burn. We're at 512.6 billion Pulsex has been bought and burned. 2.48% of the public supply is now gone forever. And of course, this is part of the superior tokenomics of Pulsechain and Pulsex compared to, say, Ethereum, Pancake Swap, and things like that. And yeah, good news. Incentive token is down 1.4%, $1.42. The ratio is 20,877 Pulse for one incentive token. The incentive emissions must be heading towards 15 million by now, and we've had 110,000, almost 111,000 incentive tokens burned through the TRH protocol game or DeFi game from Jacob and the BNB Pulsepot team. And yeah, exciting. I'm excited about where Jacob's going to head with the TYCZ lobby, which is currently open. And yeah, that's they're going to take on centralized exchanges against Binance. That's a big surprise to the upside. So it's not going to be like TRH. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to keep track of that. Could be a real diamond in the Pulsechain ecosystem or BNB. Could be dual listing on both chains. So we will see. A bit of speculation there, but definitely looking exciting. Now, Hex at the moment, PHEX at 1.65 cents, EHEX at 1.1 cents, and we've got a combined price of 2.73 cents. So nice one, Hex. And we're going to talk about Hex chart later on. Stay tuned because it looks really good. We're down 0.67% on PHEX at the moment, but overall pretty good. One PHEX will get you 241 Pulse at the moment, and one PHEX will get you 1.5 EHEX at the moment. So that's kind of where it is. Pretty similar to yesterday, I think. So let's jump over to the charts and have a look at Pulse. Let's get rid of the projects. And that is our chart on Pulse at the moment. So we're right in the top of the Bollinger Bands. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So, you know, I just said to you, typically you might get 3 to 5 times you ride the top of the Bollinger Band. And then sometimes you maybe get 7. We're definitely started to float off the Bollinger Band at the moment. So just floating after there after what's that, 6 days. And not too bad at all. We're currently at quadruple 0.668 there. And the RSI is definitely overbought on the daily at 85, but on the weekly, we are way below. We are down at 26. So good news. We could definitely keep pushing higher, especially if Bitcoin makes a further move. Looking kind of cool. We definitely hit this sort of previous high here at the quadruple 0.76. So I guess we need to punch through that. Obviously, if we punch through that, then maybe 8,500, or maybe even back to the mean price of 0001 is on the cards. And of course, if Bitcoin makes another move up to 37, 38k, game on there. So that is kind of the play we got. So Bitcoin really leading the way there. All right, let's go to Pulsex. Pulsex here on the daily. Let's have a look at that. Obviously riding the Bollinger Bands too, pretty similar. And of course, a much wider Bollinger Bands on here at the moment. And the RSI also overheated here at 85. And of course, maybe a bit of move sideways would be quite nice. So we look up for that. Incentive token, it's $1.42. Let's look at the ratio at the moment. The ratio there is actually, we had a little rebound a couple of days ago. We're just sliding back down 20,877. The all-time low has been around 20,600. So we're just above that at the moment on the incentive token. Let's jump to PHEX. PHEX on the daily. Let's have a look at that. This is PX on day. All look pretty similar to these charts, don't they? Yeah, right in the top of the Bollinger Bands. And what else there? We got overbought there at 88. So even slightly stronger on the PHEX there versus Pulse and Pulsex slightly on there. Not a lot of difference, but a little bit there. And of course, we haven't got that far to go to the mean price of the pre-SEC. So this is SEC impact here. We had an open on the day of 1973. We're at 1649 at the moment, so not too far to that at all. And of course, we got pretty close the other day. We got up to pretty high. We got up to 1889, so we're only about 6% away, 5% away from the mean price of the SEC sacrifice price. Amazing, eh? We're so close to getting back up there. And really, it's the power of the people and the power of Bitcoin, all that good stuff. And getting back to the pre-SEC price, very, very important. So good news there. That's on PHEX. All right, EHEX as well on the daily. EHEX had a bit of a pump on the 24-hour. Let's actually go to the hourly here. We had a bit of a pump overnight. Got up to 1.25 cents, 1.25 cents on EHEX. This is versus Pulse, of course, bridged into the Pulsechain. And we got some sell-off going on there the last couple of hours. So pump and then sold off there. And of course, possibly the Alex guy there. I'm not sure whether he did on ETHchain or Pulsechain. But in any case, it got pulled down. And of course, we're now at just over 1 penny here at the moment on EHEX there. All right, that is kind of it. Let's look at the daily on EHEX. That's pretty much there. I haven't got Bollinger Bands on this one, but let's look at the I haven't got the RSI on there either. I used to have RSI is at 93, so even more overheated, right, than PX, because we had that hyper move, right? We had that hyper move in the price, which is pretty spectacular. And of course, this is what the influencers were talking about on the bubbles, right? Is how big the price of EHEX went up. And we're up 275% in 11 days. And we actually got as high just earlier today as 340% in 10 days. So pretty awesome results there. Now, question mark, will it try and take on the parity at 1.1 cent at the moment? Will it try and take on parity with PHEX? And we will see whether it tries to do that. Actually, that's not PX chart, but we'll see whether it does it. Now, EHEX and PX together. This is the chart here on investex.io. And look at this thing. Amazing. So we got up pretty high. We got up only a few hours ago. We got up when EHEX got up to 1.25 penny. We got up to 3 cents. We hit the 3 cent mark and just got slightly over it. 3 cents 054. So well done, everybody. That's the combined price of EHEX and PX. We're currently at 2.729. So looking pretty good is the old EHEX PX combination there, combined price. So kind of cool. All right, that's pretty much it on that. So we're going to come back to the Pulsechain projects. So have a quick look at the validators. We've been breaking records, of course, every day with validators. We have 48,079. Woohoo! We've crossed another number there. And we've got 249 more validators entering. OMG, we're heading towards 50,000. Look at that. And of course, around the world, people are validating, looking very good indeed, is breaking records. And we're at 1.54 trillion is now staked with the validators. Let's do a quick bit of maths here. 1.54 divided by 15, and we're at a 10.26% is now staked and off the market, cannot be sold. And of course, you guys know we're waiting for liquid loans to come up in November, and of course, collateralized Pulse and potentially take off hundreds, if not trillions of Pulse. Who knows? We'll see what happens there with that. And of course, that's going to be boom time, another wave of boom time for Pulsechain. Really, really cool. Now, looking at gas prices, We're at 559,000 beats, so kind of on the lower end at the moment. But of course, Pulse price has gone up, so things are even at the same way. Say compared to a month ago, the cost is actually in US dollars is up probably twice, 2x there or something. We got Pulse X swap is 1 cent. Pulse coin transfer is 8/100th of a penny, and a PRC20 is 2/10 of a penny. Therefore, PRC20 transfer. We're 1,121 times cheaper than Ethereum. Ethereum, of course, has started to rise in the GUI. Finally, it started to rise. Took about 2 weeks to do it, but it is rising, and we're at $12.87 for a Pulse for Ethereum transfer, and we're 1,121 times cheaper than that. So even with the Pulse higher, now we're 781 times cheaper than Bitcoin. So Pulsechain, man, it's the place to be. It has the big roadmap, over 180 projects going to be landing on Pulsechain. It really is the best place on the planet for crypto. And with Bitcoin booming, Pulsechain is looking good, and big capital flows over to Pulsechain, something like $20 million in last week. It's a really big deal. All right, so let me just move on into that's day 166, folks, for Pulsechain. Let's check. We're going to get into project updates, and I was going to look at something else, but let's look at the gas first before we move on to Pulsechain updates on Ethereum, and have a look at where gas is going. So let's have a look there. Just quickly. This is the last 7 days. You can see that the gas is really starting to spike on Ethereum with the pump, of course, in crypto and stuff. But yeah, really, really high today on the old Ethereum. Look at that. Really, really high, getting up there. So yeah, goodbye. Goodbye are the 5 Guays. Remember that? So when's the last time? 6 Guay down here back on the 25th of October. Looks like that's going to be Gomburger most of the time. We will see. But definitely it's about 2 weeks delayed from last year. And if we look at 340 days, you can see, or 305 days, you can see we had the low Guay had pretty much almost disappeared by the time we got into October. It got into the teens. So we'll be watching out for that this year too, as we start to head into higher Guay now. All right, let's jump away from that, and we're going to get into the projects. Let's do that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that, and let's pull that over. This is the Pulsechain chart. And we're going to add in the overlays for the projects and talk about this now. Let us do that. But before we do, let's back in the chat, and we've got a few more people. Valen said, yeah, about the buy and sell. Yeah. Apparently, BankEx also was selling into that move as well on the EX. I think there's some commentary from Just Ask Jesse. He's got on X social platform. You can check that out. Valiant says, I thought the whale bought the EX would probably sell it quick. He said that he has a group of friends waiting to buy, so probably didn't want to ruin their next entry price. Maybe Valiant, we'll see. We'll let the market price do the talking. That's probably the best way of looking at it. But it was a bit of fun for live streaming, wasn't it? I guess that you could put it that way. Valets up and to the right, yeah, looking spectacular on the Valets, and of course taking more and more pulse off the market really is cool. Can't wait for liquid lines, of course, and Power City's earn protocol for PulseX. Gonna be bullish. Pudding Guru says, thanks, man. You're most welcome. Let's get back into it. Let's get into the project updates from Pulsechain. And here is the roadmap, right? So cool. What do we got here? We got Mintra launched, and we're going to talk about that. That's already been running, so we're going to see the results, early results on that. 9-inch, of course, we're waiting for that. Could launch anytime in here, right? We're going to have to move this over to the right because the time zone for 9-inch is shorter. Look how short it is now. I just closed it up. It's got to be imminent. Is it tomorrow? Is it next day? Is it the weekend? It's getting pretty close, folks, for the 9-inch launch, and that's going to be huge, a really big deal. And of course, dual listing, right? Not just Pulsechain, but Ethereum too. We're going to start eating some of Uniswap's lunches, right? Fake DeFi. It's going to be really, really bullish on that. Now, DBXen crypto NFTs, we're going to talk about that. That's been spectacular results as well. And of course, 9NM, we haven't heard from 9NM. So they were supposed to launch potentially last week. That has not happened. So we're going to keep shifting 9NM out until we get the update on their flagship product. They got an ecosystem, remember? It's a big ecosystem. They're doing a V3 DEX. They're doing a block explorer. They're doing an NFT marketplace. And of course, they're staking the airdrop type thing as well with their NFT collection. So waiting for all that to come out. All right, so this is the roadmap at the moment. Still pretty much intact. This is what we're looking at this stage. Coming up, of course, we've got Sugarbeat, we've got DBXen, and we've got Fetch Oracle, Liquid Lines, Power City, Pulsepot, and there's many more that are not on this list, but they're coming too. So stay tuned. All right, let's get into the 9-inch DEX. We're going to talk about the results for that. And of course, we've got some news out for this one. So their incentive token is going to be called BBC. And of course, they've got they had a competition out, and they now have a little image for that. So let's read up the update. Meet the meme coin set to conquer the world, BBC. So this is going to be a very big, important token. And of course, it's going to benefit from the whole 9-inch ecosystem. The 9-inch token is going to be used for allocating incentives, but the BBC token is going to receive a lot of the revenue allocation in it. So it's a very important token. It is this incentive token for the 9-inch DEX and can be earned by providing liquidity or staking coins on the platform. And of course, on BBC, you can then earn more on BBC. So it really is the top tier. So imagine BBC, 9-inch, and then all the meme coins underneath that, and then all the non-9-inch token underneath. That's kind of the level of rewards. Now, this has been designed by fellow Pulsechain trade bar who won, I think, $10,000 with it. So there we are, big bonus coin, and that is the winning one there. So there we are. All right. Yeah. We got some more there. So BBC, big bonus coin, will exist on both Pulsechain and Ethereum. So it's going to be dual listed there. So Pulsechain, obviously the Pulsechain side will, to some degree, be competing with other DEXs, including Pulsex. But on Ethereum, of course, the DEX will be competing with the likes of Uniswap and others over on Ethereum there. So this is the way it goes, and that's good for the markets, right? So their Ethereum version of 9-inch, it starts with a supply of 0. So people are going to be after that. They were hinting at a little bit of liquidity at the beginning of the launch so that people could buy that early without having to farm. But definitely that is the case. And of course, people with the 9-inch sacrifice will get the first access to being able to mine that. So that's pretty much it at the moment. BBC will be highly utilized on the DEX. Pairs with this token will enjoy the juiciest APYs as the annual percentage yield, and owners of the token may find additional benefits as the platform evolves. And of course, that will be interesting, not based on any particular individual, they say. This is not a BBC contract launch tweet. So in other words, there's been no BBC tokens launched. You got to wait for the official announcement and the launch of the platform. But that is cool there from BBC. So a nice little update there from the team, and looking forward to that. So that is imminent launch. That launch could be any day now. It really is a big deal. 9-inch. Remember, it's a $16 million sacrifice, and I think I typed an 8-inch there. I think 9-inch there. Right, so that launch is coming up. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a big deal. All right, now there's been a few video coverages of that. I think Crypto Copy's done one. Randy Alassi's done one recently. And of course, Sexy Bastard himself, who's the front guy for 9-inch, also did one on his channel. So if you want to get more info on that, go watch those 3 streams. They're all very good. So yeah. All right, that is pretty much it on those. So let's jump away to the next one, of course. I want to talk about, related to 9-inch, is Phux. And Phux put an interesting tweet out today saying, so Phux, the fork balancer, it is the biggest TVL project outside of Pulsex at the moment. And so they put out this tweet: we want to support meme coins. As you know, 9-inch DEX is really majorly focused on meme coins. Obviously, anything can go on it, but that is kind of the main focus. We want to support meme coins with gauges on Phux too, if they meet certain criteria. And of course, they've got some things here. Sincerity. The meme coin shouldn't claim anything particularly ridiculous. Longevity, it needs to be around for a while, for at least for a few months. Community, the community should be passionate, positive, and hold itself to high standards. So that was put out by the team there. So there we are. That is from Phux, and of course that's part of the PH universe, the biggest ecosystem on Pulsechain at the moment. We're going to have at least 5 or 6 big ecosystems landing on Pulsechain. So it's really cool to see them flourishing with that. Let's actually pull Phux up while we're talking about it, because I want to see what the liquidity is. It has definitely been climbing. So let's look at this, see where it is with the price pump. So we're sitting around about 30 million, remember, on Phux, the fork balancer. Balance is particularly good for stablecoin pools because you're much more efficient swapping ratio. So that's important. Has a different mathematical function compared to Uniswap and Pulsex. So here we are sitting at 40.5 million in TVL, so total value locked, and almost hitting to $250 million in trading volume. Isn't that awesome? And some of the bigger pools are looking really good. 8.1 million in Prime Phux, RH Maxi at almost 5 million, The bridge stable point pools there, 3.5 million. Coast, of course, the link's in the video description for that. Use Brian's link if you want to on-ramp directly fiat to Coast stablecoin. The first stablecoin on Pulsechain, of course, backed by fiat, and that's got 3.5 million liquidity at the moment, so looking pretty good. And then number 5 there, PUSD there is got 2.1 million, so some nice little pools sitting in there at the moment. Really, really cool. Who's going to be the first protocol to 100 million? It's going to be interesting to see out of the third-party protocols, so I'm very excited. All right, so that's the update from Phux. I'll leave that there, and we're going to go into the next one. Now, obviously, we've been talking about these, so we talked about 9-inch. We're going to talk about some of the other ones that have just launched because they've had some pretty good results. Before we do that, I just want to talk about liquid loans briefly, and that is liquid loans is almost here, right? So looking further down the field here, this is coming. This is kind of where I've estimated. This is my estimates based on their comments about the Fetch Oracle being a couple of weeks. So I've got here the 10th of November. And then, of course, after that, maybe liquid loans coming in there about the 18th of November. And then Power City probably just after that, or at the same time, liquid loans, difficult to say. And, of course, then PulseBot also needing to use the Fetch Oracle. So all these three here need to use Fetch Oracle. Plus, there'll be others that will come on to use Fetch Oracle too. It's very important. It's going to be our first decentralized price Oracle. And that's fundamental for a lot of projects. So stay tuned for that. Also, TYCZ, if it comes on the Pulsechain, may end up using that too. So that's kind of cool. All right, that is liquid loans. A quick update there, teaser. Now, Mintra, the Mintra results. So we know Mintra launched. It was pretty cool, pretty good launch. And of course, Mintra looks spectacular. Look at it. Looks so good. Really, really nice there. Now, this is number 5 out of the 7 NFT marketplaces that we have got to launch. So we've got 5 NFT marketplaces up now. And the Mintra is obviously very slick, $10 million sacrifice, and is working pretty well. Now, they have 2 main features here, of course. You can buy and sell, and you can also create with their Launchpad. So they've got 2 forms of revenue on their Launchpad, and the buy and selling here through auctions and sales and things like that. So really cool. And, of course, you can also stake your Mint token as well. And then they've got a whole ton of learning information plus analytics for the results there. So really, really cool. We're going to have a look at their update, though. They tweeted out earlier today, just before the live stream. Thank you very much for your timing. What a launch, they said. 1,000 NFTs already on sale auction. The Launchpad volume was 300 million. So that was really a surprise to the upside. But I guess not a surprise. You know, a lot of people are creative and they want to get out there and, put their artwork out or make some sort of online business, whatever they're doing. So 300 million in Pulse volume was very, very good to the upside. Marketplace volume, 140 million. Okay, it's okay. It's not, particularly high, but it's okay. But the Launchpad volume was pretty high at 300 million. So remember, the marketplace, NFT marketplace on Pulsechain is still evolving. Imagine it being quite small, still evolving there. As you guys know, on this channel, I was pretty much the only one to cover the NFT market and help develop it. And we've had, now there's tons of NFT collections out there now. So it really is starting to build itself out. The community takes time, and the PRC 721s, the 1155 contracts starting to evolve. So it's really, really cool. And this is just the beginning. We're only very early for the NFT space on Pulsechain. We got 500 million plus Mint staked. So that's really cool. 25% on Mint token is staked. We've got great community feedback they've had, but here's probably a really good sign, and this is a really good number, 4,000 site visits. I think that's a really great result. So congratulations to those that are staking Mintra and to the Mintra there. Certainly, for the most part, a good launch. Marketplace volume is the one thing that needs to increase there. So that's probably a thing. So if you're in Mintra, keep, spreading the word. That's probably what I'd say about that. And of course, we'll see what Gerardo and that does in terms of marketing things in the future as well. So cool. All right, that is pretty much it for Mintra. So that was out just a little while ago. You can see that on their link there as well. I'm not sure if they've got anything else on that. Thank you to all showing support during this launch. It means the world. Yeah, so they've done a great job on that. I'm going to retweet that, and of course, I'll post a link to this message in there. Leave a comment, follow them if you're haven't done it. But that is straight out of the gate, and we look forward to the first week of results as well. So stay tuned with that. So that is the link there to Mintra. I definitely checked it out. Looking good. All right, let us move on from Mintra. Looking really good on the site. Beautiful. I love the site, as you guys know. I say a lot of praises about it. Really is cool. All right, so that is Mintra. We've covered 9-inch. We've covered Mintra. DBXen NFTs, I wanted to cover that quickly. So we're going to do that. So let's go into DBXen. Now, obviously, this is Zen on Pulsechain, and we're having some pretty exciting stuff here for a breakout, but we have had some selling here just in the last hour at the moment. So really getting a lot of resistance at 701,000. But the chart, is, as you can see here on the hourly, has done very well. But we are facing a lot of resistance at the 1,000 marks at 701,000. We're currently at 872 down here at the moment. Looks like we got wick down as well. So we've got a bit of sellers going in here. Now, the cool thing is that the results are amazing. And the supply is, I think the supply could do something. This chart could break out over 1,000 later today. We'll see how we get on. We almost did it here, but then we got some big sellers coming in. So there are definitely still some big sellers out there. Now, let's go to refresh the dashboard because this is on Zen.pub, and this is looking at the actual DBXen protocol. So we had DBXen launch and DBXen NFTs, two protocols by the same team. They're the best performing ones on the ETH system for Zen, and they're doing pretty well. So let's have a look at the results. So far, absolutely amazing results. So before DBXen launched, there was 55 trillion Zen in the marketplace, 55 trillion Zen. And of course, every day there's probably, we don't know the exact number, but maybe a trillion a day coming out. So let's add another 2 trillion to that. So let's say 55 becomes 57, 58. Let's say 58, rounded up. Well, we now only have 45 trillion. So there's probably been a massive amount, maybe 14 or so trillion burned out of that, which is amazing results. So huge amount has been burned. We can see that it's now up to 16.2. So actually, if you add 16 to this number, you're up over, what's that, 50, 60. You're up at 61, 62 trillion Zen. So there would have been 62 trillion Zen, but there is now only 45 because to play the DBXen protocol, you need to burn PZen. And boy, has it been successful. This is really huge. 16.3. And as you guys know, I said it was going to be big, right? Before it even launched, and it's turned out to be exactly that. So best case scenario is played out on PZen and DBXen crypto, the DApp there. It's an ROI protocol, remember? And at the moment, we're currently got in day 3. We've got just over 12 hours to go for day 3, and the PZen burn today so far is 1.5 trillion. So it slowed down from day 1. Day 1 was like 8.3 trillion, and day 2 there was something maybe like, I'm just guessing, about 6.5 trillion, something like that. And so far we're at 1.5. So maybe we might get to say 4 trillion by the end of the day, and that's still spectacular results. So presumably what that means is that we may get some real big price pressure on the supply here for PZen. So we'll be looking out for that, for a breakout, one more breakout to the upside. We'll see how we get on here with the price. It's going to be interesting to see that. Now, the other token, of course, that's also out is the DXen, a PDXen token. So you can see that price chart on the chart here. You can see that that's currently at $7.94. It has been as high as $15.80. And of course, it did try to get back up here at $11.20 just a couple of hours ago, currently at $7.94. So remember, when you go into DBXen protocol, so if let's bring up that so you can see what I mean in terms of the actual site there. So if you go to DBXen DApp, and this is where you play the game, you can see that you have to burn a certain amount of Zen. So you have to decide how many you're going. Let's say you decided to do 100. Let's just for example. So you'd have to burn 25 billion Zen. It tells you down here. Let me just zoom in on this chart here so you can see. You have to burn 25 billion Zen, plus you have to pay a transaction fee of Pulse. In this case, it would be how much Pulse is that? 3.8 million Pulse you'd have to pay with that as well. So you'd have to burn the Zen, 25 billion, and you have to put the Pulse in. What do you get out the other side? Well, you get Pulse, and you get DXen. So every day there's a cycle. There's a certain amount of DXen starts off at 10,000, and it goes down by 20 a day, pretty much. So today's one there, you got 9,960. So every auction gets less. There's less DXen in the auction for you to get. That's kind of thing there. So you get 2 rewards in. You have to put 2 things in: Pulse and the Zen. The Zen gets burned, and on what you get out, you get Pulse and you get DXen, and then you can stake your DXen and get future rewards from that too, which is pretty cool. So that's, you got stake and unstake there for DXen. Now, DXen is auto staked unless you claim it, and if you sell it, you sell it, right? So, and of course, the current price of that at the moment, as we can see, is around $8 at the moment. So it's going to go all over the place. It's good. There's a reasonable chance that this could hyper pump too. It's only been day 3, so we might see DXen get pushed up. We'll wait and see. It's not a certainty, but we did see that on Ethereum chain, and we'll be interested to see if it happens here. The other one, of course, is we may see a PZN with that all that burning going on, meaning that people have to buy on the market because there's not enough people claiming new Zen. So we don't know what the claims are going to look like from day to day, but in any case, that's definitely a possibility there with PZN. So overall, really great results. And of course, we're going to hear from Razvan, the founder. So Razvan is the leader of DBXen Crypto and DBXen NFTs. And this is results from 11 hours ago. So 14.7 trillion PZN was burned, 1.1 billion pulse rewarded to the stakers, which is fantastic. And DBXen Crypto is like a meta chain on top of all blockchains where it is deployed. Economic energy floats back and forth from one chain to another. But as you guys know, I really consider Ethereum and Pulsechain the 2 best chains for Zen. And that's because we will probably have higher gas fees on Ethereum, on Pulsechain over time, as we've already seen. And yeah, I think that we've got the big community. So yeah, these 2 are going to fly. So it's really cool. It's a win-win situation. So really cool stuff on there. So looking really good with that. And you can see some of the cool things happening in the DBXen space there, looking really good on that one. So fantastic. Now, I said a lot of the Zen protocols that have launched on other chains, some of them had some issues. Well, all of those have got worked out and they've fixed them all. And when they're launching on Pulsechain, they're all perfectly running. So we haven't had any hitches. It's fantastic. And we've got many more protocols coming. So future looks pretty bright, not only for PZN on Pulsechain, but also for Pulsechain itself. And remember that we get new users coming to Pulsechain. We get the EIP 159 burn on Pulsechain, all the transactions burning, Pulsex trades as well. It's all bullish news, folks. A win-win for everybody, and that's what it's all about. And of course, Richard Hart's talked about that people will come and the chain gets more valuable, and you'll get really, really rich, as Richard would say on that one. So kind of cool. All right, so that's pretty much it for PZen, which is pretty cool. So what did we talk about? We talked about Mintra. Mintra had a great opening there. We talked about 9-inch. Looking forward to that. That's the next big launch. And of course, any day now. Look at this. Any day in the next couple of days. And of course, DBXen Crypto NFTs, super successful launch there for that. And of course, now we're moving in potentially Wildcard 9mm launching their flagship product too. So we'll cover that. All right, so that's kind of it at the stage. Let's get into the Hex daily stats. We're up to 1 hour and 8 minutes. And of course, hex.com, check it out. Buy Hex, get some T-shares, and then start mining Hex. That's pretty much it. We've got day 1423, so 1,423 on Hex on Ethereum, and we've got the 25th of October. The price there over 1 cent. Woo-hee! This is the first time we've printed over 1 cent on here for a long time. So fantastic there. 1.073 up 15%. Very, very good. So liking that. Now, payout per T-share 6.663. So you get that's how much Hex you get per T-share at the moment. T-share stands for trillions of shares, of course. The share rate's up 52 to 30,037. So we also had another milestone, over 1 cent on the price, and the share rate has gone up over 30,000, just like on Pulsechain. Another big milestone there, and that means that we're going to bring up Hexibus, not Hexibus, Crispy Man's site. My bad. I feel bad about that. We're going to bring up hexfire.io. This is Crispy Man. Big shout out to him and all he does. He's on Maddie Allen's show. You see him on there. And he's, really now, I guess like the Hex Pro King now on the technical side. So let's pull up, let me just change the screen around a bit there. Let me go to, change this site here. So I'm trying to look at the share rate. Let me go full screen on that. This is the share rate projection. So what we've got going on at the moment, we just hit 30,000 today. And what we've got expecting is that by the time we get up to the 22nd of November, the share rate's going to jump dramatically. Will it have an impact on the price? Maybe we'll see. But definitely we're expecting the price of Hex here at 17. It's going to be 30,500 by the time we get to the 21st of November. And then it's going to jump massively. So what's that? What did I say? 3,600, let's say. It's going to jump to 32,000. So it's a 1,400 Hex per T-share jump You can see that there. Look at that thing, massive. There are going to be little jumps on the way though too. So the share rate is not holding back. As we say earlier, pays better because the higher the share rate goes, the more X you need to get the same amount of T shares. So that's the big deal there. That's a very big jump. And of course, you see by the end of the year, we expect it to be at 32,150 based on this estimation here. So fantastic. That is it. So big shout out to Crispy Man and the info. Good to know, right? So you got to get your T shares before the 21st of November there. And you can see it. We're already getting decent increases in the share rate. Look at this. Over the last 10 days, we've already had quite a few decent rises there. We're now over 30,000. So get your T shares while you can. Average mine length, 7.05 years is the average mine length. 38.98% is the APY for existing T share miners. Let's go to the ownership pool. We had up 3,743 T shares. We're sitting at 9,770,000 T shares. So Hex is really easy to understand. We have a reward pool with the Hex in it that you get shares out every day. And of course, you've got the T shares there that have got the ownership pool. So the ownership pool owns that reward pool. And currently we've got just under 9.8 million T shares in there. I used to have 11 million, over 11 million on it. So now it's quite a change. Lock percentage of coins, 9.36% of all Hex is locked at the moment. We got pretty modest penalties today, under 500,000. We got 65 million in that reward pool that we was talking about. So kind of cool. Growth numbers, we're up 146 liquid holders on the Ethereum side. And we're up 4 miners on the Ethereum side. So this is really the interesting thing here. We are starting to get some green shoots, as it were, or white in this case. We're starting to get some growth back in the miner levels here and starting to break up the shedding of miners. So that's an interesting, we'll be watching that trend to see where that returns. Because as the price gets higher on eHex, it becomes more self-fulfilling, that attracts more people. More people want to mine, more people want to buy Hex. And that's kind of what we're seeing at the moment. Look at that. So very, very exciting. Now looking to PHEX, day 14 to 23 to 25th of October. We've got PHEX prices at 1.65 cents on the snapshot, like a boss. And of course, it's up 0.3%. So it's amazing. Like I say, earlier today, we hit 3 cents combined for eHex and PHEX. So looking really good. Payout per T-share, 6.764 Hex per T-share. We've got the share rate jumping 6.5 to 30,135 on the share rate. And of course, the average mine length shorter than on Pulsechain, on Ethereum. It is 6.87 on Pulsechain. The APY is 38.47%. Not bad for existing T-share miners. The ownership pool up 3,145. There's about, what was it, about 50,000 or so more T-shares on Pulsechain. 9,835,000 T-shares there in the ownership pool. Getting to our last numbers here, 9.69% of all Hex is locked on the old Pulsechain. We had pretty good penalties today, 3.3 million, and it has been pretty good the last couple of days. And we've got 66.5 million in the reward pool for the old Pulsechain. Looking at the growth numbers, we're up 169 liquid holders on Pulsechain and a nice, very nice looking 72 miners. So we're up to 124,703 miners, which is about 5,000 more miners on the old Pulsechain than compared to Ethereum. So what have we started? We started day 1424 and day 167 on Pulsechain. Hex.com, folks. Check it out. Not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. But if you have any questions, get into our Discord. The link's in the video description. And of course, we have a crypto helpline, which is pretty unique to our Discord. We have all the information. We've got all the early intel. We cover all the projects. So what else is not to like? We've got all the on-chain swapping mechanisms, all the cross-chain swapping mechanisms, all the onboarding. It's a pretty cool place to be. But most importantly, the community is there. They're amazing. We have an amazing leadership team. Get into our Discord. Links in the video description. Hex.com. Check it out. All right. Cool stuff. Right. So we wrap up? I think so. We're up to an hour and 15 minutes, which is kind of my max period. Just the way it goes. Hey, we got Gerardo in the house there with the lit fires. Hey, good to see Gerardo in the house there. Big shout out. One of the biggest influencers in the space. And of course, the founder, frontman for Mintra NFT marketplace. So big shout out to have you in the chat there today. Archie's in the house there. That PZM burn is out of control. I know. It is unbelievably successful on the PZM burn. It was right up. Remember, I was talking about big numbers before it launched. I said, we got like 55 trillion. We could get like maybe 20 trillion burned like that. Even as I was saying, I was going, that's a huge number. And I was like, am I really saying the right thing? But it's turned out to be true. It's amazing stuff. So really, really awesome. Archie says, great job on the platform, Gerardo. Very slick. Yeah. The Mintra NFT marketplace is super slick, super fast, super responsive. A beautiful green color. Love it. It's very, very cool indeed. And looking forward to the collections and looking forward to more partnerships there and promotions. And it's going to be a volume game. Thank you, Hex Token. Great stream as always. Appreciate that. You're welcome, Sandy Beach. Yo, Superman, struggle in the house there. Hex is awesome. It certainly is. And it keeps delivering immutable code there. And of course, a big thanks to Richard Hart, who's the genesis of all this. And of course, his awesome team that he's got, like Bretep and others. Gamma, it really is an incredible place to be. And with Bitcoin now, shining the light in the direction, capital is about to be unleashed into crypto. Pulsechain is easily the best chain out there. Easily, we have the biggest community, a huge influencer community. We have massive capital flow channels now, both fiat and cross chain, on chain swaps. We're going to eat some of Uniswap's lunch with 9inch and other dexes. Really is awesome. We're getting some of the best technology in crypto to launch on Pulsechain. We've got over 180 projects going to be launching on Pulsechain native, and we've got all the copies, of course, of Ethereum. And when people find out they've got copies in their wallets and they're even looking, they're going to be coming too. It is unbelievable, folks, how good Pulsechain is going to be. It is going to be epic. All right, I think we're going to wrap up because I'm up to an hour 15 or 16 now. So I got to wrap up here, but we've got a couple of final comments. Thanks, Superman says, great pick. You're most welcome. A pleasure. And Valiant there says, many thanks for the info, Superman, the best reporter on the Daily Planet. Yeah, thanks, man. I like that. That's the first time I've seen that used. Very, very cool. Well said there of crypto. Yeah, Daily Planet of crypto. I like that. Mudhog there. RH will change the world. Just wait. Yep, that's definitely happening. Greetings from the Netherlands, Superman. Powerful stream as always. And thanks, Richie. Appreciate that. Alpha Man says, Brennan. I appreciate that too. And of course, Brian there. Ready up. Yeah, get ready. Looking good. All right, let's play out some cool stuff there. We might as well play out a bit of Richard Hart. Let's do it. And you guys know it, the rap. I love this rap. We played it probably 200 times on this channel. But hey, enjoy. Peace out. Bye for now. Take care.
My $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.